What's going on, y'all? This is Al B back with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new plugin from Baby Audio called Smooth Operator, where with the lo-fi plugin typically you would want to add in some muddiness or add in some harshness and add in some other artifacts into your track. When it comes to Smooth Operator, you can think of it more like a hi-fi plugin where you're actually adding clarity, you're removing muddiness, you're removing harshness, and you're also removing resonance from your different tracks. So that's kind of how you can think about Smooth Operator in a nutshell. But we're going to talk a lot more about it and about the actual functions that it has and the different features that are available. Before we get into it, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so I can keep bringing you guys this dope content. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Yes, sir. So what exactly is Smooth Operator? It's really a combination of three different things. It's kind of like a dynamic EQ combined with a multi-band compressor combined with a resonance suppressor. Those three functionalities are all built into one easy to use and intuitive workflow. That's a lot of the power that Smooth Operator has, is that you get all of that functionality inside of one plugin, and it does it really well, and it's very easy to use. So you don't get distracted with all the different knobs and parameters and different settings that you would with all of those different functions separate. All right, that's enough talking. Let's actually demo the plugin. So I have Smooth Operator applied on one of my synth buses. So I'm going to play my beat with just the synth bus playing, and I'm going to toggle off and on the bypass so you can kind of hear the differences with it on and with it off. So you can hear a lot of the clarity that it brings out of my synths. Without it, they sound a little bit muddy, right? The exact thing that it's intended to do, I definitely can hear that it's doing it. So now let me bring in the whole beat and let's do it again. I'm going to bypass it first. And now I'm going to activate. I mean, I could definitely hear that it brings my synth out a lot more. The exact thing it's intended to do, it brings the muddiness out and it raises the clarity without adding harshness. And so I think that that's really powerful and it's doing just what it was supposed to do. So now let's talk a little bit more about the different controls inside of the actual frequency bands. If I was to reset this, it's going to be flattened out. The first thing you want to do is grab this threshold knob and you want to pull it down to a level that it's affecting your signal. Once you have it set to a level that's affecting your signal just how you want because your threshold is set right, then you want to start playing with your different bands based on what frequency you want to attack. So I've raised the threshold on this high shelf here so that it doesn't affect the high frequencies because I want those to be toned down. I'm going for a darker or a warmer tone here. And so I don't want it to bring out my high any more than it already is. So I'm going to raise this threshold. I would like for my low end to come up a little bit more. So I'm going to lower the threshold so that it's more compressed and it brings out some more of the low end on the synths. And let me go back to soloing this out so we can hear it clearly. That's sounding good to me so far. Now there are some frequencies in here that I want to target. So you can move these wherever you want. And then you use your scroll wheel, which is basically changing how sharp or how wide your cue is for this particular band. So I know that I want my range between 500 to 1K to be affected a little more. So I'm going to actually raise this threshold and I'm going to pull these down. So that's it kind of in a nutshell and how you use the plugin. Note that this middle one isn't really a band. It's really just your threshold setting, and it's going to move everything up and down as you move it. So let's talk about these bands a little more. On the far left, you have a low shelf band, and as you can see how it moves, if you want your low end to be more compressed, to be clearer, to be affected more, you pull this down. If I had a certain frequency that I did not really want Smooth Operator doing too much to, I would raise the bell there so that that frequency would be just as it was originally. And you can just hover over the band and use your scroll wheel to control the Q for this particular frequency band. Your center button is really just setting the threshold for all of the rest. So if you move this up or down, it will move everything with it. And that again is just going to determine how much of the signal is affected, you know, at what decibel level. Okay. So if you take it all the way up, then it won't affect anything. If you bring it all the way down, it's going to affect everything. So I'm going to keep it in a good middle sweet spot here. Your next band is the same as the other one. It's a bell curve. You can bell it up or bell it down. If I wanted this frequency to be more impacted, I would bell it down, and I may get more specific by reducing my Q to something narrow. And then my high shelf, because I don't want my highs to be doing too much, I actually want those to be toned down. I'm not going to compress, I'm not going to brighten or try to bring those up anymore. So I'm going to keep my high shelf threshold up here so it doesn't do too much. And that's how I came up with how I want to use Smooth Operator here on this synth. So now let's see what it sounds like with the whole beat. Hey, hey. Hey, that's some fire right there. You can choose between pink, green, or blue. If you click the Baby Audio icon, you're going to be able to bypass the plugin natively. And that's really nice because you don't have to jump out to your DAW to test A and B comparisons. In the center, you have your presets where you can load presets, choose different presets, or you can save a preset if you like the configuration that you have and you want to save that preset for later. You have another Baby Audio icon, which does the same thing as the other one, just bypasses. Finally, you have your sidechain. With sidechain, if you enable this, it's going to allow you to send a signal into Smooth Operator to force it to duck. So if you wanted your kick to make the Smooth Operator signal duck, you would enable sidechain like I just did. And then you would send your kick to the channel inside of your DAW, and it would duck Smooth Operator as your kick hit. When you turn on solo, that's going to be used to audition the individual frequency bands. So once you have it turned on and you hover your mouse over a frequency band, it's going to solo that out so you can hear what that frequency band sounds like and the effects that Smooth Operator is having on that individual band. So it's really good for making decisions on where exactly you want to focus and what frequencies you want to affect. Then you have your focus. Your focus is pretty much determining kind of how precise and how granular Smooth Operator is. If you have your focus turned all the way up to 100, then Smooth Operator is going to analyze every individual frequency spike that there is. If you reduce this down some, then it starts to analyze them on a more broad basis, and it's going to give you a more balanced response. So I have found that you don't want to make it 100 and you don't want to bring it too low, of course. So a good balance is between 70 and 75. Then you have your output, which is pretty self-explanatory, and you have your meter. So there you guys have it. This is Smooth Operator from Baby Audio. This will be really good on some vocals as well. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and found it helpful. I'm going to drop a link in the description to where you can get Smooth Operator at a discounted price for a limited time only. So go ahead and cop that while you can. Until next time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is Al B, and we are out. Yes, sir.